Hi. Excuse the mess. We're just like sorting and tidying. Here, have a look. Not so much sorting and tidying as we're creating a corner, a space. So that used to be books, and that side used to be the shelf with the cards. And so we're just switching the cards and the books round and hoovering up in that corner and switching up our altar. And so yeah, it's all quite but this is a Synchros diary vlog. We just got too excited and had to share. So we literally got one more week left of the Hero with 1,000 Faces, which isn't this Sunday, it's next Sunday, and then it's the wrap up for that. So a week this Sunday, the last one of the Hero of 1,000 Faces, and on December the 15th, we're reading The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or we're the people, it's a book club, that's what the book is, so it's about reading it before then. So this week we've got a week off book club, so we're reading this week, and then we're going to be courageous, and I don't know if anyone will come, but that doesn't matter. Read it aloud on Ren's Discord community, because that's where the book club is. Instead of ours. And so then people can come and join it live, because people like to do that. And then we're going to do it on YouTube as well. So keep an eye out on that. I'm not sure which channel, it could be this channel, but keep an eye out on YouTube, because we are going to be reading this live on YouTube as well. That'll be close. That'll probably be the first or second week in December. Tito Popeye, no more. Yeah, our little was excited because this time we get to read it and not take it down because of copyright laws, because it's in the public domain. And so anyway, our little excitement of the synchronicities are just like, they're just off the chart for us. I mean, people get excited by stuff that happens like once in a week or something, like happens for us just like off like every day. And it's not until it gets like to the, I mean, what are we in now? It's hold on, it's 1:44 or 4:44, 13:44. So this is like the fourth or fifth one today, and because it's like the third one of Wizard of Oz in a row, that's really quickly, because some of us are saying we're meant to be reading that now, but we've been wanting to do this sorting for absolutely ages, and it hasn't happened, and it is happening, so we're allowing it to happen, probably because we've got the dentist tomorrow, which is 6 years since we've been to the dentist, so we're probably keeping ourselves busy because of that. Irrelevant, the reasoning doesn't matter, it's normally, though it's a little bit of all of it normally, but because we're attempting to read Wizard of Oz, but that's not happening. Really, we know what's going on is it's not meant to happen yet, because there's meant to be all these different little things that come in from the different dimensions of reality. So you've got the dimension of reality and imagination that's external. This is interesting how it's coming out. I wasn't expecting this, which would be your imaginative TV and movies. And then there'll be another slightly different dimension that's close to that, which is like your dramas and your soaps, because that's more real life kind of styly. Then there's like, watching YouTube and actually watching YouTubers, and that's real life people doing real life stuff. But it's still kind of like in the virtual dimension. So they're all slightly different dimensions, and that's what goes on externally. And then you've got like nature and what goes on outside. And then you've got the different layers like inside. So we are constantly dancing between these all the time. We don't really know from a linear intellectual comprehension way of explaining, but that's not what this is about. And because we're deaf, blind and dumb inside, everything kind of happens outside. And that's why we've created, I suppose, such a magical space with lots of stuff to create that we don't actually create, but hopefully we will do soon in whatever format it arises. And so anyway, the Wizard of Oz is a big theme at the moment, and there's lots kind of going on with it. And one of the things that's happening daily for us at the moment is, depending whatever series we're watching, we may end up going on a little bit of a binge of the series we're watching, or we may end up not watching it for a while and then kind of coming back to it. But there will always be something that happens there'll be a couple of things that happens in our external reality, like real time in real life outside in nature, like whether we're outside in nature walking and it's a thought that comes to us, and then we come back into the house and the first words that come on to the next series that we watch is that thought exactly that kind of went on. And that will also be like the third or fourth thing in synced stuff that's already happened in the morning, whether it's like something that stood out to us in the house, like a number, a name, a word, a colour, or a notification that's come through. But it's just like, oh my God, it gets so exciting because it's off the chart. And so we don't record it or do audios or screenshot it all the time until it gets to the third or fourth. And then it's just like, we just have to. Because if we did do it all the time, well, it would just be doing that all the time. And so anyway, we're sorting out our cards. The theme of the week already is Wizard of Oz. And on just like sorting out the books, the tarot books that we have, there's this Inner Child cards book, and we kind of opened it up because there's the workbook down there, and we're literally just putting all of our journals that we've done, because we've got a few years worth of journals of things that we've been journaling tarot. And we opened that up, and the card we opened it up on was the Wizard of Oz. And so that was like really meaningful. It's the Seeker of Wands. So the Wizard of Oz in the Inner Child book is the Knight of Wands. And this book here is different to that book there. This is more of a workbook. So it has questions of self-inquiry related to the fairy tale. And so then season 7, episode 4, 74 is actually the number of nature. 7 and 4 are both numbers on the Lucas sequence. We've brought up the Lucas sequence. Our gift is like numbers and patterns. And the Fibonacci is a very well-known, common sequence that you see everywhere in nature. And the Lucas sequence is similar, but rather than starting 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, blah, blah, blah. And that's amazing because 55 is the 55th octave out of 83 octaves, which is the visible light spectrum. So that starts with a 0. 0 is the nothingness, it's the unseen, it's the spiritual dimensions. The Lucas sequence starts with a 2, but it follows the same pattern of adding the previous 2 together. So 2, 1, 3, 4, 7, 11, 18, 29, etc., etc., 47, 76. And so for us, if you're on either side of the veil or either side of the door, Fibonacci is the sequencing and patterning for one side, and the Lucas sequence is a sequencing and pattern for the other side. So the Lucas sequence starts in the visible, seen, tangible, and the Fibonacci starts in the unseen, invisible, untangible. And we've seen people do patterns of that spiral with the Lucas sequence, but they've just copied. This is what a lot of people tend to do with information, rather than going really deep in themselves to find what the meaning actually is. They've just copied it. Whereas for us, we have to link a few of us together before we can even like put our stuff down to paper. But we created on our Discord community, we created this amazing sacred geometric tool, which are these two sequences together, creating a mandala, which is like it's a path home to the heart. It's a visual meditation tool, and the places where the two spirals converge, like in the center. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of the chakras, and you have like the petals, the diagrams, like the mandalas. So it's like this. It's kind of got the 4 petals on the outside, but it's like a circle kind of thing on the inside, and then it has that Fibonacci golden spiral of the Fibonacci and the Lucas sequence that go out. And there's at times when they almost touch, but then they don't. There's times when they do touch, and there's times when they cross over, and it's the convergence of the two, which is a really magical point where there's this synchronicity and this alignment and this harmony and this union, the yin yang balancing of the masculine and the feminine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, because they're all kind of slightly different aspects. So yeah, we had it. So 47, 74, 47, 47 is a number on the Fibonacci. Then it's 76, but also 74 is the number of nature. Anyway, listen to this.
Dorothy dear, it's Aunt Em, darling.
What's wrong with?
And so yeah, that it just came on again. So yeah, it's really magical. It's really exciting, and it keeps the fun going. So we definitely feel that if we do get back into YouTube, which I'm pretty sure we will. We've just got to kind of reconcile a few of the outdated, rigid belief systems that are in us and still transcend a few emotional turmoils of the reasons of why we're doing stuff. Because I know some of us don't want us to do stuff or create in the need to get attention or recognition, but at the same time we don't want that to happen, but it might be too big of a jump for us to go to that idealistic view and perspective and way of being. It might be that we have to actually, to get us creating again, it might be that we do have to do YouTube videos and create in a way that's connected to YouTube. Yeah, so I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that we just got to work out first, and we want to be organised in our digital world and our real life world and like admin and other things as well before we come back on. And maybe that's a bit of a jump as well, I don't know, but we're just going with the flow at the moment like we do, and we're getting really good at it. And yeah, it's so exciting. But at least if we do that, we get to a real sense of who we are, and if we become, you know, if what we surround ourselves with and what we consume, food, people, energy, entertainment, everything, is what makes us who we are as people, then at least then, if we have got such a balanced centeredness within us that's really authentic and really unique, and we know where we are and can't be rocked, but you know, we will be rocked, and that's part of life, isn't it, and the ups and the downs, but we are able to find ourselves back to the centre easier. And if it incorporates for us a surrendering the conscious mind's need to know and understand, like everything that we come across, it's always the intellectual mind first, because I suppose you have to use the intellectual mind and communication to get a certain perspective across. But yes, so for us, we're still finding our way, because it's got to be very much about embodiment first and breath first, not an academic intellectual mind. But at the same time, yeah, we don't quite know. We're just going with the flow, attempting to get like a few things all sorted and done, so that, and yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just the energies and the planets and stuff. I know we're coming into a big one where it's Pluto and Aquarius yesterday. For us, December the 6th, Mars retrograding, or Mars in Leo's already happened, I think. And then for us, basically, everything's just really full on with our natal aspects and the energetics until I think we get a break or a rest at the end of summer next year, and then it starts up again. Not sure exactly when, but I know February 26th is going to be really big for us. So it might just be that the energetic alignment for the planets and stuff hasn't come and hasn't happened yet, or what have you. Who knows? We're in the intuitive flow state of just doing our best, and for us, just waking up every day and achieving another day is a success. And if others don't understand that or not, you know, doesn't matter, does it? It's about managing emotional, mental, physical pain and tumultuous ways of being, and navigating it completely alone, and which is a challenge, isn't it, when you haven't got any friends? There must be loads of you out there that feel the same. No friends, no family, no charity, no societies, no professionals that can support you because you feel that different or that misunderstood. And this, it's the things we don't want to mention because we don't want to go into victim consciousness, but it's the comorbidities of multiple physical and mental health labels, isn't it? So when you're dealing with lots, especially when the labels, the syndromes, the disorders are invisible, because others don't, they think you're making up or they don't understand. And if you've grown up and you've had a lot of psychological and emotional traumas because you've not had any nurturing, stable upbringing as a child, it really can all just take over, and one loses all hope and faith, and to find that self-worth and that self-love is just poor. But, you know, we've been getting into a little bit of the human design and the Gene Keys, and then there's Rob Comber, who's the Lost Octave, Rob Comber, and that's really exciting as well. It's all bringing in, it's a multidisciplinary disciplines between like I Ching, human design, astrology, and again, it's the Gate 41, which is Capricorn 60, and that's self-discipline. 41 for us also is like 41 self-discipline. And if you've watched us for a while, these are numbers that keep coming up, for which you need for 14 moderation. 14 is the temperance card in the Major Arcana Tarot, and relates to Sagittarius. Yeah, we've been having fantastic downloads which we haven't been able to verbalize yet, but it's to do with, you've got your personal planets and you've got your global collective generational planets, which is your three outer ones, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. We won't even go into the dwarf planets, but then you've got the transpersonal planets as well, which is like the bridge between the personal and the collective, but it's also a bridge between the traditional and the modern, the outer planets being the modern, and that's Saturn and Jupiter. And it's this thing of belief systems, epigenetics, Bruce Lipton, and about those traditional belief systems that are really embedded and tightly woven into our connective tissue and our fascia, that goes really deep and can just bring up this that goes on. And so it's all kind of intertwined, and it's also to do with how your Saturn, Uranus and Pluto are the three planets that go with the only three astro signs of Aquarius, Scorpio and Pisces that have a traditional and a more modern ruler, and how these are the connecting points, these are the bridges. And there's lots come in, but it's all in frequency. It's all known, because frequency is the human comprehension measurement of energy, but it's all energy. And for us, energy is the soul. Like we've heard people say how the soul is the emotional body, but for us that's not. The reason energy or souls or fragments of source energy incarnate into human form is to experience through the 5 physical senses that keep us bridged and connected to the collective agreement external reality, but also the 6th multi-energetic sense. And in the soul energetic fragments of source energy incarnate into human form so they can experience the full spectrum of emotions and experience through the human body. And so emotions, the emotional body, is a hormone electrochemical reaction experienced through the body. So for us, the soul isn't the emotional body. The emotional body holds morale. It holds good and bad, right and wrong. And the unseen energetic world doesn't hold any of that. The unseen energetic world is, sorry for some of you out there, but there's no morale, there's no good or bad, because all of that is a human form belief system attachment, and it depends what culture you're in, depends what experience you're in, to what's good or bad, right or wrong. And that's the diversity of it, and that's the beauty of it, and being different. And in the unseen energetic world, it's not about that, it's just about vibration. And then if you want to understand that vibration, which is always there, and it's not about like, if the tree falls, does it make a sound? It's like, that's a philosophical question from the past. But for us, that's like, well, it doesn't matter if it makes a sound or not. If there's someone there to hear it, yes, it's making a sound. If there's someone there not to hear it, it's still doing exactly what it's doing. We just don't have an attachment of words and labels, etc. to it. And that's where things get confusing. And that's where we have to transcend a certain outdated way of being and thinking, and that's what we're going through. And with our processing language disorder and dyslexia and the words, it's a very interesting journey. And so it's just this vibration and the soul. We did sidetrack there and we got a bit lost. I think we've gone a bit much, so we're going to go. That's a bit longer than we thought. We thought it was just going to be a few minutes to explain that, but we should an external belief system. We thought should do better, should know better. We know better for next time if it's going to come up in the moment when it's not excited, but well, you are. Okay, see you later. We have gone, haven't we? Because we just a bit hard to stop. Okay, bye.